Hello and welcome back to WePC. Now Razer is well known for its gaming peripherals. While some may argue that they can often be a bit overpriced, the brand at the very least produces products to a decent standard, featuring great functionality for gaming. Today we are looking at the middle child in the Nari family to see what this wireless gaming headset can offer against the similarly priced competition. The Razer Nari Wireless gaming headset is one of Razer's premium offerings, with even the base model costing a pretty penny. So let's see what they have to offer. To Razer's credit, setup for these was pretty straightforward. You simply plug the USB dongle in and let Windows work its magic. Oh, but good luck finding the dongle. If you know nothing about the headset though, it sits in the right ear cup. That's right, it's got its own little memory card style slot for easy storage, which is a nice feature once you know it is actually there. The first thing you will notice when unboxing this headset is the insane amount of bulk to these ear cups. These are huge, but it is a gaming headset, so we can get over this. The perforated grille and metallic headband accent the matte black plastic well, with the Razer logo on the ear cups looking as good as it always does. The ear cups are circular, like the Razer Krakens or Corsair Virtuosos, but they have plenty of room for the ears. The ear cups flop around a bit though, which again isn't going to be an issue, especially when you are wearing these, but it seems strange they don't lock into place. It looks like they have pinched SteelSeries' old headband design from the Siberia version 2s, with that pronged metal headband and a padded floating bit of sponge underneath that molds onto the head. So let's dive a little deeper into them. These are entirely plastic, but that is what keeps the weight down, and is something common amongst gaming headsets. The only metal is in the headband, and it is needed with those heavy wrecking ball like ear cups dangling from each side freely. Regardless, these feel very durable, but they aren't as flexible as other models out there with quite a rigid feel. The ear cushions are removable, meaning you can easily swap these out if they become damaged, and this is always a great feature to see. The material on the outside of the ear cushion is a soft leatherette, and the material that touches your skin being a fine weave fabric, giving these greater longevity than leatherette all over. The microphone retracts into the left ear cup like the Razer Kraken or the SteelSeries Arctis 7s, with the business end being encased in a subtle hard plastic. The cable on the mic is a soft, almost rubber-like plastic that is very malleable and easy to get into the right position. The Nari headset features a good amount of hardware controls on the ear cups themselves, which are all conveniently placed. On the right ear cup, we see the volume control only. There isn't much to say about this wheel. It is pretty basic with some grip to it and stops at a minimum and maximum volume. Aside from controls, there is the memory card pop slot for your USB receiver towards the bottom. Pressing this in like a button will release the USB dongle and vice versa. A decent little feature for gamers who transport their headset. Over to the left ear cup is where we see the rest of the headset's controls. You've got a mute mic button at the very top, and this will light up with an LED ring on your mic to indicate when activated. Beneath that sits the chat mix volume control. It's very easy to use, and there is a tactile notch in the middle so you can always get back to default. Below the chat mix is a small power LED and the power button itself. Despite their giant appearance and weighing in at 431 grams, these are actually quite comfortable, and it is largely down to the design of the head strap. These are by no means light. In fact, they are more than 100 grams heavier than the Cloud Flight S headset from HyperX. These even surpass the Sennheiser GSP 670s, yet are much comfier. Unfortunately, they are not as stable on your head though. They will move and irritate you unless you sit still at your desk. The clamping force feels really good, but they just won't sit still. Even when I extend the microphone, I have to then readjust this headset, which is a big negative. The ear cups use a more durable fabric for the bit that touches your head, meaning you will sweat less, but the overall ear cups will become warm after time as they aren't as breathable as the Astro A50s. The inner wall has been covered with a thin layer of fabric, but it doesn't feel great at all. It's not a big issue, as my ears never got near the driver thanks to these memory foam cushions. The headband that makes contact with your head is mostly all cushioning with the branding etched into the top, and it looks superb. There appears to be some wiring running through this padding, and it self-adjusts as you place it on your head, regardless if you've got a boulder or a pea-sized noggin like our social exec Elliot. In terms of performance, overall these perform pretty poorly, with the only exception coming from electronic music. Other music wasn't particularly great, but I was more concerned with how these perform with gaming. Even with EQ tweaks, I just couldn't get these to a point where I could happily use them daily. Now don't get me wrong, there were some good elements and the audio is clear enough for gaming, but I'm factoring in the price and competitor models, and with those in mind, I can't really see a place in the market for the Razer Nari headset. The bass was decent at times, but the accuracy would vary depending on the audio. Again, for electronic music, it was spot on, and the bass booster in the software worked well. I expected the lower end to perform well in games, with distant grumbles and explosion thumps to follow suit, but it just was a bit underwhelming, and if anything, it muddied out the other detailed sounds. Mid-range bass was good, but again, I couldn't really hear the vocals in tracks as well as I'd like, and small instrumental breakdowns were cluttered at best, with everything sounding just a bit weak. The stereo imaging was actually pretty good, and rightly so, as these are a gaming branded headset. Testing them out in CSGO showed that there is some potential there, albeit overpriced. I could actually hear where the enemies were walking or shooting at all times, so If I received these for free, I would happily use them for competitive play, but otherwise, maybe not. The unidirectional boom mic on the Razer Nari is adequate for gaming, but little else. My voice was always crystal clear and picked up by teammates without any issues during testing. However, you probably need to fiddle around in the software to get this a little better, as there was no bass in my voice whatsoever, with everything sounding compressed and just pretty much nasally. Overall, the mic loses out to the competition like so many other areas of this headset. The SteelSeries Arctis 7s have a much better mic, and even the Cloud Flight S is marginally better in certain areas. The mic quality on this reminds me of the budget Corsair HS70s I tested out a while back. Good, but just not great. The headset may not feature the HyperSense technology we see in the Ultimate model, but it still has a decent amount to keep you going. The best feature of the headset is actually the headband strap that helps this fit almost any head size. If they take this design over to a new headset that won't fall off when you sneeze, then Razer could be onto a winner. The wireless pair operates via the 2.4 GHz low latency connection with an effective range of 12 meters. The connection remains strong at this range, and I was unable to get this to drop out while moving around my flat and the office. These can be used on multiple platforms, but the dongle will only work with PC and PS4, unless you buy the Xbox specific model. This model boasts up to 20 hours of battery life when you turn the chroma lighting off, and only 14 if you leave those lights blaring. 14 hours isn't bad though, and it gives you a couple of days of uses before you actually have to charge them. And for the price, I just was a little let down. I expected a lot more from the pair, and when you consider how comfortable the closely priced SteelSeries Arctis 7s or even the HyperX Cloud Flight S models are, alarm bells just start ringing. If, however, for some reason the competition models were uncomfortable to you and you're all out of options at this price point, then you could try these, but honestly, I can't really recommend them otherwise. Sorry, Razer. And that is our comprehensive review of the Razer Nari headset. As always, links to the product will be in the description down below for you to go and check out. If you enjoyed the video at all, we would love if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and we'll see you in the next one. Won't we, Elliot?
Yeah.
Sick.